Cavecast, the uncensored show for nerds of all kinds.
It has been an interesting couple of weeks since Mr. Oliver Anthony showed up on the scene, and the people in my life that were just getting a hold of me that had nothing to do with the channel that were saying, bro, you have got to listen to this guy. Like, I know you're a part of the reaction community. You got to do this. And I remember seeing the thumbnail, and a part of me thought, all right, well, I'm imagining we're going to get some soul out of this.
Yeah.
We're going to get, somebody that is very passionate, because it looks like he's singing with like that David Crowder kind of like, big passion. And needless to say, we're going to keep reacting to his stuff. Like it's going to keep happening. And for this week's episode, I wanted to do the questions thing and have people be able to ask stuff on Discord. And Vortex actually asked this question, and I think that it fits with what we want to talk about with Oliver Anthony tonight. Vortex asks, what is your opinion on the state of the world right now? Just with everything that's happening. And I think that me personally is that, I've been through many iterations of the world and what's happening. I mean, obviously, I think the biggest one for everybody is like living through a pandemic and having that perspective of things and seeing what people can become when they're locked away in their homes and stuff. And like, the idea of like, just the controversies and things that happen and how divisive the people get. But I mean, I've been noticing that since I was, a kid, and just, the people that, were either big on political things or, people that were doing things like that. And I think that right now it's at such a severity of, no matter what the topic is and no matter what you're doing, that there's almost kind of like this norm of like people are scared to talk. And they're scared to, put yourself out there,
But is it really more and like much like that much worse? Or is it because like I've always stated where everybody has a video camera now?
Yeah.
You just see it more. It's finally documented more. Like, I don't know. I feel like the world has always been like, just in general has been this fucked all the time. We're just really aware of it now.
Yeah.
Like really aware. Everybody can go like this or, snap a photo now. We all have them. All of us, for the most part, 95% of the population.
There's even homeless people that have cell phones. Right. Yeah.
So the world is fucked, man. Like it's bad. And all of these conspiracy theories and stuff, they're fucking true. Most said most are true. And it's still people still just don't give a fuck. They just turn a deaf ear to it. It's like, what the fuck, man? This is why it's still happening. This is why you know what? The world needs to fucking end.
Yeah.
Thanos was right.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it. It's fucked, man. It's fucked. That's that's the word for the day. Fucked.
Right. It's like the Pee-wee's word of the day. Whenever they do this. But no, I mean, I agree. It's interesting because, again, like having that, mentality is that, there is that mentality of like, all right, I mean, if you're coming back any day, Lord, like, it's like, I mean, if this is how it's going to get bad and things are going to happen with this, but it's interesting that somebody like Oliver shows up and the fact that he is, he's being bold and talking about things that, because this is the thing that I think is really interesting about him is that there's a lot of people that are very pissed off about the main song that he's done, the Richmond, and it's like, okay, like, I'm sorry, but like, what is it that you're angry about? Because what I see happening with that is that, because even like we watched his Joe Rogan interview or the 15-minute, second 15 section that we got. And it's just like, again, like I loved how he said it on there was that he's like, I'm glad that I got to be on something and finally, talk because, of all the iterations of people doing the AI stuff of him and, the what do you say about the Super Bowl where he's like, I never said I was singing at the Super Bowl. It's like people are just taking things, it's like that idea of like, 1 ounce of peanut butter and they're making 1 million sandwiches. Where it's like, like focus on the peanut butter that matters here, man. It's like, and it's like, it's getting lost in the noise with it. And I'm sorry, but like, I think Oliver Anthony is somebody that whether or not you agree with him, he's somebody that is being bold. And that's something that is to me, I don't necessarily care if somebody's beliefs don't even line up with mine whenever they're, professing the things that they're doing. Is that no, like, it's, the people that, are bold enough to say what they believe is true and that they're putting themselves out there to possibly be a target. Mm-hmm. And it's like that. And the thing is, too, is that all he did was just sing some songs about what's really going on. And people were pissed off about it.
Yeah. Why are you so pissed off then?
Yeah. It's like, dude,
like that's what I want to know is if you're so pissed off, then you must think that this is aimed towards you.
Right. It's like what the whole, if the boot fits.
Yeah. Right. And it's just one of those where it's like, and do you know how I know that this was also something really good? He got labeled as both sides.
Yeah, right. He's right. He's right.
How do you get labeled as both sides? Like, what the fuck? Like, Oliver, Chris, whatever your real name is, if you ever see this, you made it, buddy. Yeah, right. Fucking good job. I'm here for it. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, dude. It's just his.
Fuck it. Oliver for president.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No, he probably doesn't want it because the vacation time's not that great. So no, I don't know if that's true or not, but no. It's what was the? I think it was the joke in the show Limitless where Bradley Cooper's character can literally do anything with his mind, and he stays at the governor level. he's like, I've not confirmed I'm going to be running for president. He's like, do you know how much vacation time you get as a governor? It's sickening. I honestly don't think I can give it up. So like, but no, No, it's just what I loved about that was the fact that let's think about this is that Joe Rogan is probably the biggest influencer when it comes to people that have conversations. Yeah. And the fact that like literally they kept having the joke of this has been 2 weeks that all this stuff's been happening. And Joe is just like, dude, like what I love, and I even wrote it down was the fact that he's like, this whole thing is bananas. And it's like when you get Joe to say that, you know that he is engaged. And he's just like, because it's like, no, like it's ridiculous. Like it's like what all's happened here. And it's just, to me, I think that I really want to be able to sit down to watch the whole interview. But like the thing was up, like they posted that clip 5 hours ago and it's already got 1 million views. Like, dude, like Oliver Anthony, like he is doing something and he doesn't even like, I think he knows that he's doing it, but I think he was just a guy that wanted to sing some songs and say some truth. And now the world is responding to it. And it's just so interesting.
I think that's what's cool about it is, he even stated where, first of all, he's turned down all of that stuff.
And good for him.
And it's the fact that because it's not what this was about. Has nothing to do with that. It's almost like that upchurch mentality when he would go to these record label deals and like their meetings and stuff. And that's why he bought that Lamborghini, because they were like, we'll give you a Lamborghini as a signing bonus and this condo and all this stuff. And he was like, and he would just sit there and then he left and was like, fuck you. And then went and bought one himself because he could.
Yeah.
I don't need your shit.
Yeah.
This guy isn't doing it for that. Neither was Upchurch. That was the whole point. But it's the fact of he's just doing this because he likes to make music.
Yeah.
It's not to do with fame or money or anything like that. Or what can we do for you? This is what he feels. This is how he's getting his message across. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he said, I've never been trained and I know my voice was not the, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're incredible. Like,
he's like, yeah, I know this is just like that. Did he say amateur or something like that? So I'm like, bro, you're tripping.
Yeah.
Like you got me fucked up because that is a powerhouse of a voice.
Yeah.
So you mix those two things together where he's meant to be. Mm-hmm. I think that's the thing is that he was meant to be this because he doesn't want to make it big. So he's going to be big.
Right.
And that's the way it should be. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be because he's not doing it for that specific goal.
Right.
And that's why all this money's coming at him right now. That's the devil talking to him.
Isn't it funny where I think that because, I mean, we have nowhere in any way, shape, or form had any kind of enticement like that with what we do.
Oh, fuck no.
By like, there's not a market for, sign on the dotted line for your soul here because you're a reactor. Like that's
no.
not what I'm saying. But in the same hand is that there have been times we've gotten personal messages from people where it's like, dude, I will give you $1,000 if you both will just react to this. And our answer every time is no. Like, I'm sorry. Like it's
not how this works.
It's like, you can't buy us. And I think, and I think that's where like there's people on this planet that when, cause I hate to say that it's like, oh, I would be able to handle every situation if somebody showed me dollar signs, because clearly it's like, that's not happened to me, in that way. So I would hope that I would have the ability to say no if I felt that it was the wrong decision. But in the same hand is that there's this thing that the enemy uses, and if that's what you want to call the industry or what you want to call the devil, or if you want to call anything else, is that there's always some form of it, no matter what you believe. It's you can have everything, man. Just let us take care of it. It just let us do this. And it's like that. It's the whole sign on the dotted line thing for music. It's been there for years, where it's like people talking about getting roped into different record companies and everything. And it doesn't mean that all record companies are bad. It doesn't mean that all, people are slime balls. But in the same hand is that when you cannot be bought, that's the moment that the enemy short circuits, and they're just like, what do you mean? What if? Well, no. What? Oh, like, and it's like they have nothing.
Yeah. And
I think that it's this idea that like Christopher is somebody that I can tell that knows that he is not taking his money with him when he dies. Is that, I mean, it's, it's like, now he, and from what I understand, and it's just because I'm not going to quote something that's not true, is that I don't know if he holds to a true Christian faith or if it's his own interpretation or whatever. And I don't really care either way. But what I can tell you is that man is not being bought by anything earthly.
Correct.
And that to me is what's so attractive about what he does with his music, because it's just, he is such an anomaly from what we're used to. Is that like, because people, talk about it all the time, like, with Tom and everybody, like Tom McDonald and Dax. And it's like, well, no, they can't be bought either. Upchurch can't. But it's like, now this is a new guy that showed up. And how thankful are we all that there's somebody else in this music industry thing that we can trust?
I think there's also something to be said about the fact of these artists that you are already talked about on top of Oliver here is why would you have that? We can do everything for you. Just let us handle it. I'm already handling it. Look at how I've got millions of views on I did this on my own.
Yeah.
Why do I need you to handle something now? And I don't understand why a lot of these people fall into that. You're right. Not every record label is terrible, but at the same time, it's like, if you were already doing it, why are you going to let somebody else take a piece of what you've already done? They didn't build that.
No,
you did. You started in a basement somewhere. You started in a backyard somewhere. Where the fuck were they 6 months ago, 6 years ago? So it's like, nah, man. I think there's also something to be said about the fact he sees what he can do by himself and make his own money.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to sell out. You're right. Even if he would have signed to that $8 million deal, good for him. Like, he would have deserved it. But I think he would have regretted it later on and, down the road.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem that a lot of people have, is that they're like, fuck, I should have just kept doing this by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think it would be because of him willingly wanting to make decisions. I think it would just end up being at the point that he would just have his hands tied. And just he legally would not be able to do something without repercussions, and then he would be homeless, and then he would be like, just because of like how the industry works, where it's like you have penalties for the things that if you do, but like
I got no penalties if I don't upload my video on Friday.
Right. It's just people are gonna wonder where the hell it is.
Yeah.
So it's just. And to me, I think that also what's so interesting about this man is the fact that he cannot be bothered by anything that is happening around him because of this whole thing. Like, the whole, like mentioning like the AI thing again. And then, just the stuff that people are putting out there, maybe some of the jokes and things like that, where he kind of has that thing where he's like, it just rolls off his back, where he's like, look, I really wasn't a social media guy anyway. He's like, or like I was on it, before this, I was kind of a casual, person with this, but it's like, it's so interesting to me to see somebody that is handling quote unquote fame.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
and quick.
Yeah. And it's, again, the whole 2-week thing, it's just, it's to me, I think that if anybody should have been broken by the system, it should have been this man. And, because it's, because like we've all seen what happens like with, Logan Paul's or like, these people that, get fame so fast and they become so rich so fast. It's like, even MC Hammer, it's like him, getting everything and then losing everything. Like it's nuts to me that there are still people out there that can achieve that level of an influence and it doesn't go to their head, because that is who a true human being should be.
Yeah. Right.
I'm stunned by this man. And the fact that we have way more in his catalog to be able to unpack. It's just wild.
I'm actually just really excited to see what he does in the future, because he's already got like a pretty sweet setup where he can go in the back and sing and have that so sound.
Cool. Yeah.
Him making his own money off of his YouTube, and stuff like that, and his clicks, he's going to be able to upgrade.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how much more he wants or needs to, but the sky is kind of the limit for him now, because he was already just doing it in his fucking backyard.
He's got his dogs.
Imagine if you gave this man his home studio that he could build and go record something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking shut up, dude. Like, it's game over. It's game over. He's going to win a Grammy and he's going to go, I don't want it.
Right.
Like, that's what's and I'm going to be here for it. Like, I'm going to be here for it. So, yeah.
He kind of reminds me of granted, he said he's not a mountain man kind of guy. even though he's from like some areas, but it's
right.
Like,
and I'm glad that he's like, dude, that's not what I said. This is where I'm from. Like, yeah.
Right. It's to like package it up as like, I kind of look at it where it's like, he is kind of like the mountain, folk singer, country singer that is like, he's like another NF, where it's just like, he's not doing it the way that NF does because nobody can do it the way that NF does it. But in the same hand, Chris is doing something where it's just like, damn, like when he's out in the woods, he's meaning business, and what he's talking about or what he's singing about, like, it's to me, it's so wild. And I think that more people should pay attention to him. I think the people that are angry at him, I don't plan to ever try to change their opinion of him. I have I have my own opinions about things I will never back down on. I've got my hills I'll die on.
Of course.
In the same hand is that I think that,
and that's your right.
Right. And I think that that's, especially like with the way that the world is today, is that, again, like, guys, like, we've talked about this on lives, we've done this before, but I think this is really important to what Vortex is saying, is that you have to be okay with the fact that people are going to disagree with you. You have to, because we are literally 7 billion different people on this planet and counting. Yeah. And we're all from different cultures and different ways of life and different everything. And it blows my mind that it's like this mentality of that you have to be okay with my life decisions or you're an enemy. And it's like, well, number one, I know for me personally is that I don't care really what people do with their lives as long as they are not harming themselves.
Correct.
And it's like, I want to be able to dive in with people about faith. I want to be able to dive into things like, about like, look, man, tell me about your struggles. I want to help you with this. I want to do life with you. But in the same hand is that at the end of the day, you're your own person. And everybody has that right as well, too. And if you have a problem with that, then you're not going to be able to make it very far, on a, I guess you could say, social level, is that you're going to be categorized into something that is negative.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way. I think that's what it blows my mind so much of what I see on the news, but yet the people in my life are of many different walks and very many, like, people of different sexual orientation and different people that have very, very different religious beliefs than I do, is that we don't hate each other.
No.
And it makes me really wonder where all this animosity is, because it's like, and I don't know if I'm just fortunate, but it's interesting.
It is interesting because there was actually somebody that it's nice when people can, like, I feel like this person did a really good job, and I wanted to say something because I didn't. Somebody else did, and they weren't mad. They were just kind of responding. But somebody commented on the new NF video that we put out.
Mm-hmm. It was Breathe, right?
Yeah. And they were like, I've tried to get into him. Like, I just don't like him. It sounds like he's always running out of breath or something like that. And like, they gave their opinion, and they weren't rude about it.
Mm-hmm.
They stated that they had tried to get into this, specific artist several times, and they just couldn't. And they kind of left it at that. And I was like, that's the thing is that you're right. That's the beauty about music and art. You can disagree, but you're not throwing them under the bus. You're not being obnoxious about it. You gave an opinion. You commented for the algorithm, and I appreciate that. Like,
yeah,
you stated something, but you weren't an asshole. People need to be like that more.
Yeah.
I don't like it because of this, but I can see why you people do, or whatever. Like, it's the fact of you state that you don't agree or like something, but you're not annoyed or angry with these people because they do.
Right.
I think that's where the fine line comes in, because people are so passionate about something and they start to get angry.
Right.
So now there is this like animosity, like you were saying, where it's just, it starts becoming this, like, you just butt heads no matter what it is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about music and politics and all this stuff. Like, it is fucking everything.
If we can fight about, it's like that whole joke on Facebook where it's like proof that everybody will fight about something. Here's a stick.
Yeah.
And then it's
it's a twig.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's
and here it is. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, man. Like, people like that, like, I love that comment. Like, that's been one of the best ones in a long time, because they gave their opinion, because it's an opinion.
Right.
That's what most of life is an opinion, whether you agree or you disagree on your day-to-day life, or the things that you do, who you vote for, your sexual orientation, like you were saying. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter to you. But you believe what you believe, and that should be it.
Right.
You can help other people along the way that are like-minded. But at the same time, like, you can try to sway people. Some people are on the fence, but at the same time, no matter what side you're on, if you're an Android user, you're not going to jump to iPhone usually. It's like, it's literally everything.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And people don't like that for the most part, and they get mad because what, you can't see this. No, they can't. No, they fucking can't.
Yeah.
So let them just be. Let them be, because it's going to just be way more fucking stress if you just try.
Right.
It's going to be so much more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that it's
sorry, a little rant.
No, it's honestly, I think it's a good way to wrap, this section up, is that it's just like, guys, like, I know that there are, a decent amount of younger people that watch us that are either in school or they're, getting into college or things like that. And I mean, we've done a whole podcast on life after high school, so I'm not going to repeat any of that. But this is something where, like, guys, I want you to genuinely think about where you are, what you want to do, the person that you are, and the people that you surround yourself with, because that is ultimately the person that you do become. And I know that it is such a stereotypical thing where it's like that whole, like, if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And it's like, no, like, it's one of those stereotypes that I hate. That's right. And it's just the fact that, like, guys, there, like, I love that your friends are passionate. I love that you have people in your life that are very bold about the things that are happening and the things that they want to do. But there is a toxicity that is present, and it's not just in the LGBTQ community. It's not just in the religious community. It's not just in the BLM community. It's everything.
That's what I'm saying.
We are all humans that are really fucked up right now. And we are being put into a situation where the narrative is pushing everything the way that it needs to make sure that we are fighting. And this is the one thing that I will say is that, guys, don't. Love the people that are around you. Love every single one of your friends and enjoy the things that you do. Get passionate about something, but do it in a way that is loving and in a way that is self-edifying. And that's not so, like, if you have an angst feeling every single time you pick up your phone to respond to somebody, and it's like, and you have that ha moment of, like, my point on the board, it's like, you're already lost.
Dude,
and it's just not the way
we were those guys. We were those people for so long.
Of course.
But the people that we were with, or that we surrounded ourselves with too. Like, man, that's where I feel like our lives have drastically changed, and it's still changing.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Once you start doing that, when you have that tally or you have that toxicity, it's just never ending, and you just feed on it, man. And it's almost like when you don't have it, you need to create it.
Yeah. It's the idea that you're I don't like drama.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right. So you're right, man. Like you just, what is take it from Aladdin, the genie, just be yourself.
Be yourself. Mayday.
Yeah.
So, but all right, that's kind of the beginning section here of the serious things, but we're going to move into the actual other Discord questions that we had here. I hope you guys found something good out of that first section, and yeah, let us know what you thought. So
I rambled a lot.
me too. So, so that's what this is all about. That's like when I interviewed John, he was like, "Man, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling." I'm like, "No, please give me content."
I know. Even when I was watching, I was like, "This is what this is supposed to be, man."
With it. No, so, however, switching gears here drastically, Joey from Discord wants to know, what video game universe would you want to live in?
You would start with this one
or visit
you
at
go
least
first.
once. So I thought about this one for a little bit, and what came to my mind first was, oh, I want to be in Death Stranding. That'd be amazing. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, no, that world is awful. Like
it's just the scenery. That's
it's
nice.
honestly, yeah, like we're also coming at this in the mentality that if we're going to be in a video game world,
you have the power.
We have the abilities. So it's like if you were in Doom Eternal, you would be able to be the Slayer. So it's like it's that type of thing where it's like, you know, the abilities of said character or characters. And I think that as far as like Death Stranding, that's something that I would love to just visit, because there's what's interesting about that game is how peaceful it is. And just it's the fact that it's
get it.
Like, I mean, there's been many times that like whenever you come home, and because Eric and I live together, for anybody that doesn't know, but it's like the fact that I'll just be sitting in the living room and I've got, you know, my huge amount of packages that are on my back, and like I've got, you know, my floating carts and everything, because I got to get to where I'm going, and it's like, oh, this is a 10,000 pound like, you know, thing. I got to get here. I got to climb up this mountain, like. And there's just something about the solitude of just being by myself out in the middle of nature. And it's something that I know that I do not have the time to do to that extensive, you know, for that extensive amount of time. But it's like to be
you
in
could
Death
if you're
Stranding.
playing video game. If you weren't playing video games, I'm just kidding.
Why would I do that?
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
It's just to me, it's like it's, you know, being able to, you know, climb to the top of a mountain and just look down at the road that you were on.
Sure.
And it's that beautiful thing of like it's done to such a drastic scale, but it's also the fact that it is a game about bringing people together. And the idea of like you're rebuilding America, but you're also like, it's the fact that you're helping people connect in a time when they can't connect. And it's such an interesting concept, and there's a lot of heart to that story. The other side of things is that, I don't know, there's a part of me that really wants to get down on Mario Kart and just be on Rainbow Road, because we're all going to respawn anyway.
Bruh,
so
I almost said that one too. I was like, Rainbow Road, I'm going first thing. It's where friendships go to die.
All of them go to die. It's awful. Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I think that honestly, it's just being able to, because I don't know if like, have you seen those memes or those videos of where they take Breaking Bad, but they rotoscope them into the Mario Kart thing when they're like driving and like,
shut the fuck up.
Oh, dude, it is hysterically good. It is so good.
Never watched the show, but that's funny as fuck, dude.
Yes,
okay.
I was a casual watcher, and by that I mean I think I watched like 3 episodes, and I was like,
I
this is
watched
pretty
the
cool.
first
So, yeah,
episode
yeah.
4 times.
Why didn't you ever continue it?
I don't know. I watched it with 4 different people. They're like, we're going to watch this. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, and then that was it. Like,
I know that somebody melts in a bathtub.
Oh,
No,
see, now I want to watch it.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that happens. But
Oh, damn. Don't
But,
tell me that, Kyle.
no.
I'm going to watch it right now.
Why you got to do that? No, but no, Mario Kart always sounds fun. But like, again, like I had plenty of other things where it was like, yeah, like I want to be, you know, the Slayer in Doom Eternal. It's like, well, if I take on everything of the Slayers, that, you know, no, he is filled with rage because his family was taken from him.
Right.
His pet rabbit was piked on, you know, or his head was piked on something, like when the demon said that they would do something that they didn't, which shocker, a demon lied, you know? So it's like, it just, I don't know. To me, like I was trying to be smart about it, but I think that I wouldn't want to live in a universe. I think I would want to just visit. I would want to just, you know, do a couple of rounds of Mario Kart, do my thing, shoot out some turtle shells, you know, make some people pay for, you know, making me not be first place on the last round or whatever. So it's to me, I think that's kind of the stuff that's on my mind. And of course, Batman, like getting to just, be an Arkham Knight and just have full capability of the Batmobile and just do what I'm doing like that.
Oh, yeah. And you could be Bruce Wayne
cool.
and fuck any chick you wanted.
There is that aspect.
I'm just saying.
So, there's not a fucking mechanic in the game.
Bro, you're in the world. You're going to be real.
Was it like the free guy?
Your wiener will work.
Dude, you're fucking. Well, in that case, Grand Theft Auto is also. I remember what was it? Mom was like, "Why did you kill that hooker?" Like, because we have to get our money back.
Because I'm broke.
So, oh my god, oh dude, people are gonna love this episode. So yeah, those were kind of mine. Was that I was Death Stranding was the biggest one, just because it's the idea that if I could just be in an area where there's no danger. And just, walk around, look at things and do what I'm doing. And, if I'm plugged into a bridge, baby, like what that connection really feels like of like being connected to the other side. And, it's, God forbid I run into any of the monsters, which are the BTs in the video game, that I would be able to use, BB to be able to get through it or Lou rather. But it's like, no, like that's something that really did stick out to me. Like, it seemed like it would be an interesting thing to, experience at least once for maybe a few hours and then come right back like the Matrix, where it's like, well, that was crazy. So, but
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you mean, because mine's kind of the same as in the fact of like visiting.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, dude.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned this before. So take me through it. You get into the game. What is the first?
I'm ripping your fucking heart out. Like, I'm ripping fucking, I'm Kanoing the shit out of you. Like, he's not even my favorite character, but it's the fact of like, that's what I'm doing. Like, if I'm in the game, I'm just whooping ass, taking names, fatalitying the shit out of everybody, and then I'm piecing the fuck out, like
deuces.
So there's that. Next is Casper. So Casper, there's a lot of reasons. Probably
that's PS1, right?
Yeah. Yes. Why you got to do that to me?
Sorry, no.
Yeah, I think it's PS1.
Yeah,
but the fact of the game, that's very much like something that, Mom and I played a lot. And then the movie was pretty solid that came out. And, like the teen years when you were like, everybody was the heartthrob and like whatever. But
yeah,
the game itself still had this like kind of like the movie feel.
It is uncanny.
And I kind of want to just visit the house and hang out there, like go around with, like maybe almost like not even be Casper, but be with him, like one of the people there, and just go around with him and then, leave. But just because like I want to explore and be in a haunted house, but have somebody that's got my back all the time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And just maybe find some treasure or something cool. Like, but other than that, like I would still want to leave. The other one, Spider-Man, dude. I'd probably live there. I just want to fucking swing around, dude.
Oh, dude.
Not
in
the fact of, it's not even the fact of fighting crime, being Spider-Man and having the hidden identity. It is literally like almost being like a bird and being able to fly away.
Dude, it's the freedom that Peter has to get through the city is incredible.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the fact that I could just go anywhere I wanted and just sit for a minute or do whatever it is, like the freedom that would be, like I'd probably want to live there. So yeah,
I will
good
say,
questions.
Honestly, what I would say is this: is that first off, because I want to end with Casper, is that for this question is that there were times that when I would play Spider-Man that I wouldn't do any missions. I just swung through the city.
Yeah.
It was just like I got to get lost in it. And I think that what really blew my mind was that when the opening cutscene happens in that game, is that you have this wonderful just like telling of history as the camera is panning over and you're seeing, oh, he's been Spider-Man for a while. Oh, 7 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's his computer. Like, here's his, his mask that's inside out with the soldering iron next to it because he was working on it the night before, and him waking up in a hurry because, Fisk is, being, taken down by the cops. So he's got to go help. And it's like, what killed me was that when he jumps out of that window, not only is the song amazing, but it was the fact that I was looking at it as a cutscene where I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm never going to get to see these, maneuvers in gameplay because this is just a cutscene.
Oh, yeah.
What blew my mind was it kind of woke me up whenever I was playing it was that I remember swinging down through a fire escape. I don't know why I like came to the side of this building instead of like down the road, but he literally Tobey Maguire'd it. It was the idea when Doc Ock throws him through the bridge that's above him on that beautiful train sequence that's in Spider-Man 2. And he just looks up, sees the hole and goes, oh, and just goes through it like a pencil and then comes back and is still fighting. Like, it's just that happened in real time in game. And that was the moment that I realized it was kind of my Last of Us Part 2 moment where I'm like, this character is alive. Like, it's like when I hold this button, he takes care of everything for me. All I have to do is move the stick.
Right.
And it's just, like, I cannot wait for Spider-Man 2. Like, it's the fact that it's like we're getting the next gen version of this, of how much better everything's going to be. Like,
it's going to be sweet, dude.
But Whipstaff Manor. So, Casper, that's something that, dude, if I could just stand in the big spiral, just, entrance area
at the beginning.
Oh my God. Like it's the fact of like getting to go out in the garden. Cause if we're going to go with what the game is obviously much bigger than what the actual movie was with the manor. But dude, it's getting to check out, the ghostly trio's, bedroom and being in there and probably having them try to scare the shit out of me. And like, it's, and it's, I don't know, like that game, like to me, I think it's one of the most nostalgic things I think that I've ever experienced. Like when I hear that background music, there is something that just sends me back. And I remember talking to Mom the one time when we were playing and I'm like, what music is this? And she's like, I think it's the score. Like the score to the movie, or like it's inspired by it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
And to me, like being young at that point, I never really put the two and two together. I was just like, oh, this is video game music. And it's the level of care and detail that they put into this PS1 video game. Like they did not have to go that hard. And it's one of the craziest, just like map video games, if that's what you want to call it, like with like treasure hunting and like puzzles and all that stuff. It's incredible.
But why did he need keys to go through a fucking door?
This is where I have my biggest problem with the game.
Just saying, but no, take all that aside. That's why I was saying like maybe not even be Casper, but be the somebody with Casper and going around. Yeah. But man, it makes me want to play it. Like it makes me want to play it again. Like I'm pretty sure, I swear I heard Mom say that somehow, some way she has it. Like she's able to play it because I think Devin or Mike has an original PlayStation and they got a copy of it. So. And it still works. Like I need to go play motherfucking Tekken.
Right.
Like
was it Tekken 2?
Tekken 2, baby.
2, yeah,
let's go. Yeah. Whoop your ass.
That was our Mortal Kombat before I had
that was
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so, right.
Because I remember when what was it? What was it? The lion or the tiger character?
I forget, man, but yeah.
I just remember when you pulled up the game the one day, there was just this.
Oh, it was like a leopard head, I think.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, what's this? And like, I didn't understand how video games work, that you had to play and progress and unlock shit. The only thing I knew was that when I picked a fighter in quick play was that there was now this, like cat human that was there that like growled and like scratched and did shit. So,
but it was fire.
But no, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's our little video game adventure. But we're gonna go on a different adventure, and this one is from Emeru Angel, who had a lot of really good questions. But I was not gonna just pick Emeru because I didn't want to just make a full podcast.
You should keep them for later, though.
Yeah, definitely. Like Angel, you've got some really good questions. I really like how your mind works. Like you've got some really compelling things. But this one I thought would be a lot of fun to talk about tonight. And Emeru wants to know, if you could build your dream house, what would it look like? And this is what I love how they ended it, was what secrets would it hold?
I'm not going to tell you my secrets.
Oh, because they're secrets.
Yeah.
Secret.
Secret.
Dude, I fucking hate that. Dude, I was 5 years old. I'd be like, what are you guys doing? Secret.
Don't fucking worry about it. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, it's so when it comes to a dream home, We're going to play in the realm of that there's no rules, that it doesn't really matter life situation of what it is. Like all these things are in no particular order. There's like, it's not like, oh, like if I left some things out that it's not going to, be in there or whatever. But
yeah,
dude, I'm telling you right now, my dream house, I absolutely want a huge ass just Oculus room. That is the one thing that I am dying for is to have a space that I'm talking like master bedroom, huge ass size, or even like a big portion of the basement in this dream house. Is that I will make sure that the walls and everything are taped off or are made that way. There's like a grid that way it looks like the holodeck from like Star Trek.
Yeah.
So for a couple of reasons, is that one, aesthetically, that you're walking into something where like, whoa, tech stuff happens in here. But it's secondly, it's because what I want to do is give the infrared cameras enough data and a grid that it will be able to track everything so properly, because it does it so well with no tracking, like tracking points or anything, just using the environment around you. So a part of me wants to do that and like just do like get it to the point to where like when I play Walking Dead, I'm walking through the city and just like having that level of control and detail of that.
That would be cool, man.
In virtual space, dude. Like that's the one thing that I would love to have in my dream home. I mean, because ultimately I would have a log cabin. If I was going to be doing everything, it would be a gargantuan cabin that would have, multiple different rooms. Definitely would have, the podcast studio would be in there somewhere. I would have, I would probably end up having a devoted like voice acting room.
Okay.
Definitely a motion capture room for that. Maybe the Oculus room could be doubled as such as a motion capture, space. But yeah, I think that I think just being able to geek out and just have those things, and then it's like with depending on where life goes, like, with my lady and everything, where it's like, no, like maybe like this place is like where we do things, or like this is where like all this stuff happens, or like
when you say do things.
So many things. So, but no, it's just to me, my dream house is that I want it to be ultra comfortable. I want it to be a place that I can be so creative in. I want it to be a place that I know for a fact that I can have fun in, that the people that are living with me are going to have a good time while they're there, while they can also relax and enjoy their life. So it just, I don't know, like to me, like I always think big and over the top. And I think that the dumbest thing that I could probably want in my dream house would be a virtual room where it's just like, there's nothing in here, but literally it's only because of like it works because of the headset that you have on and being able to see that. Because
like that's its only purpose.
Right. Yeah.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah. It's in because the Oculus, John Carmack has said before where he's like, look, this is supposed to be, a replacement for some of the things that you do. And when he was talking to Rogan, where he's like, look, you have a full theater in your house. You have no reason to go to the Oculus, put it on, and then watch a movie. But somebody that's in Tokyo that lives in a very small room,
exactly,
it allows you to have that freedom. So
correct.
What I want to do is take it that next step further. Is what
that environment that you're in.
What can we really do with this?
Right.
Like, how dynamic is this thing? Like, how can I walk through a haunted house that's in VR? And but because I have 20 foot by 20 foot rooms or a room or whatever that can do this stuff. So as far as a secret, there will be a speakeasy of sorts hidden behind something that looks normal. That will be the private area where me and my friends and my close loved ones get to go, and that not normal people would know. I probably would also have a panic room as well too, just in case.
Really,
I've often thought about it. Yeah, I've thought about having a panic room, just something that like. I could stay there for a week and it wouldn't matter. I would just, I probably would be a little stir crazy and be like the Russian from Armageddon, but I'd be
touch
safe.
Nothing.
I tell you, touch nothing, but you're a bunch of goblins. So, but
that is my uncle.
Yeah, he's the greatest leader in my family. So,
I am now hero. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So no, but yes, that's pretty much like my I wouldn't say that there isn't more, but it's just I'm entertainment oriented. Like,
yeah, I get you. I get you, man.
Having my my music room where I get to record with all my friends, like knowing that anybody that plays any kind of instrument can come over and we can sit in the live room, push record, and do something live.
We had a buddy like that.
Well, we do, yeah.
That was cool. That when he had his live room, that was really sweet. But yeah, no, you're right. Like that. Yeah. You're right. Entertainment bound is like pretty much what we are, and that's cool. Like it sounds ridiculous on the things that like to some people that you might want like an Oculus room. No, it's not for you. That's the whole thing. Again, like the beauty of your wants and things like that compared to other people, where it's like, well, that's ridiculous to most people, but it's not to you because it's what you want.
Right.
It's your thing. It's your opinion. It's your whatever. Like, I think it's cool, man. I can't wait till you get your fucking Oculus room because I'm coming over. So how about that?
I was gonna say you can bring over your Oculus too, and then
Right.
be like, "Hey man, I can see you,
Dude, we'll play Star Wars like it's a motherfucker, dude. Like, let's go, baby.
So
I call it, I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
She's not in there. No, no, but
So apparently it's my turn, right?
yeah. So I am curious as to what you think about.
All right, turn the camera back on you because I'm going to wet my whistle.
Okay, go for it. I don't know if I did it in time. I need about 2 more seconds of. Hey, you guys subscribed. So,
okay.
No, so, yeah. So realistically, like if you had a dream house, what's some stuff that sticks out to you?
So here's the thing is that regardless of, we talk in like a perfect world and all these things where, money didn't matter or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not building or moving into a gigantic mansion. I really am taking in something that I heard somebody say, which was 50 Cent. And I know that sounds funny. Just bear with me here. He said that he was done buying mansions. And the reason being is that even say you even have like a significant other and you have, maybe even a couple kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't use the space that is there. He's like, things break all the fucking time. You are constantly updating and fixing something.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he's like, he even said at one point, he's like, I got up one night and I went to go get something to drink and I turned around and it was a black, dark fucking hallway all the way down.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go down it. So, no. So that being said is I always stated that I wanted to build like a container home. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing is that some people say that's, over time, like their resale value and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But this was supposed to be my forever home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So either the container home or something along these lines where it was basically going to be 3 containers. So even if it wasn't, but if it was still set up the same, it's kind of a big square.
Mm.
And what it would have been is like a U shape if it was going to be the containers, and all of those would have been like the bedrooms and like bathrooms and things like that. And then in the middle would have been like the giant open kitchen, living room, dining room area, and all those things. But above, because of how it was going to be built, you could have this giant open patio.
Yes.
Like a huge patio.
Okay, I do remember you showing me some pictures of some schematics of that.
Yeah.
That was really wicked. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is that it doesn't necessarily have to be containers. You could still build a house like that. It was just the way it was designed and how they were doing it. I really liked it because like it gave such an open plan, but yet you can seclude yourself in your rooms. Let's face it. I want a fuck you bathroom. And like maybe like a fuck you kitchen. I don't need extravagant bedrooms. I sleep and fuck in there. I'm not trying to be funny, but like that's what I do. I don't entertain like that in there. Like I don't need for something. So the spaces that I look at are places where I'm going to entertain or have people over or where I'm going to want to hang out. I go to my bedroom when I want to go to bed.
Right.
It's called a fucking bedroom. So
yeah.
That being said, I wanted that just like kind of like I want a nice kitchen and I want a nice bathroom and then that whole patio. But my secrets, probably I would have a grow room.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the reason it would be a secret is I wouldn't tell many people because at that point, whether it's recreational or medical like it is for us in Ohio,
right.
People are going to want you to like give them stuff or give you for cheap or whatever. Like, no, it's my stash because it's my fucking stash.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Right.
But other than
this
that,
is mine.
But other than that, like the things I would want is nothing too huge. Like I would still want a large home, almost borderline too big, but not, if you know what I mean. Where it's like, you almost went too far.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would want a section of either the house or off of the house, maybe a man cave, if you call it, where it's my smoking room. It doesn't have to be for, weed or whatever. It's the fact of somebody wants to smoke cigars, smoke cigarettes, whatever we're going to do. You want to come hang out. This is where we're going to go do it. Almost kind of like your speakeasy.
Right.
Where it's like, this is where we have our drinks. This is where, the adults hang out and do stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd probably have a sex room. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Not like 50 Shades of Grey. Like, let me come whip your ass. Like, but no, just like a room where we could go in and there's just like the dildos hanging everywhere that she likes. Like, you don't have to put them away. Like, that's just like where we go and do it.
The room is just locked.
Yeah,
where it's
just like,
that's the shame room.
Yeah,
right.
Why is that white door? Like, don't worry about it.
There's a padlock and it's got like
the code
numbers.
is 6969. Yeah,
you really chose a bad code for that.
But no, like my dream home is not really super extravagant. It's the fact of enough space plus a little bit more. And like maybe a decent backyard. Like I need like a acre. I don't need acres of land for me to fucking mow every Sunday.
No.
And take care of. And this long, stupid fucking driveway when it snows and all this dumb shit. Like, and why do they curve? Make it straight. Why the fuck do they curve? Like, why do you want? Anyways. So, and like a gate, like maybe. But like, what intruder's coming? Like, I don't like. They're gonna climb a 6-foot gate. Give a fuck that you're spending millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars for an iron gate that still even somebody halfway athletic could jump over and climb.
Well, see, I would just go barbed wire. So, man,
at that point, Kyle, when you say things like that,
I was just,
but no,
you can try, but like,
right.
yeah, so yeah,
but no, like I think of those things where it's like I don't need all of this land, but I need enough land for like my animals or my kids or whatever like they want to play on, or even when they're not kids anymore, but like still maintain and have for the grandkids or whatever to come over. Like,
right,
I want that space where I can entertain if I want. If not, it's still a cool fucking house for myself to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's got the things that I want, and I can go do the things that I want to do, whether 5 people are over or 500 people are over, or it's just me and my family.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at anymore. Like when you're a kid, you think I want to win the lottery and have this giant house and do all of these things and have these cars and blah, blah, blah. Why? It's too much. It's stress. That's more stress. Like we were talking
stuff.
Earlier. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
Like why the fuck? I have one ass.
Right.
Why do I need all of these things to put it in?
Yeah.
I can only do it one thing at a time. Yeah, you can argue there's 7 days in a week, whatever, fine. But but still,
yeah.
I think that a dream home would also include somewhere that is smaller, but somewhere not where I always live, like a vacation home.
Oh yeah, yeah, kind of like off the beaten path from your main home. Yeah, like
right.
a little cottage or like
exactly.
A little thing. Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think that would also play into the fact of like my dream home, because that would also be a thing where I can also just get away.
Yeah,
and again, it would just be something simple. I don't want or need for anything super outrageous anymore. There are things that like I have dreams about and think, oh yeah, that would be cool. If they don't happen, my smoke room, my speakeasy or whatever, it's never going to happen, man. It's a dream though, but that would be the thing that I would want, So it's like, it is kind of cool to fantasize about things like that. It's fun.
Honestly, the one thing actually that just came to my mind that I'm mad that I didn't think of was like having the fire pit, having like that, patio area out the back, like that.
I think that's kind of implied, man.
Sure. But I think that, man, I don't know, like there's something about like, I mean, no matter where I'm at in my life is that I know for a fact I'm going to have a fire pit. If I do with the shitty fire pit that we have built now, or
does it hold fire?
It does. Yeah.
Then you're fine.
Yeah. It's, it's to me, like I want to be able to roast hot dogs over a $2 one or a $10,000 one.
Right.
Like to me, like
right.
I think that's a thing where it's like that mentality of like, almost like that Mr. Deeds thing where like he finds out he's a billionaire. What's the first thing that he does? He buys everybody, fast food, where he's like, I've always wanted to buy the biggest thing. Like it's like, I know that like getting guitars and things like that, like I'll always spend a ridiculous amount of money. But when it comes to everything else, is that I'm so simple. Or like, it's like it doesn't need to be this 10 grand, fire pit.
Mhm.
I'll dig this out with my bare fucking hands and put the old stones I found from the side of my house and build one.
The $4 marshmallows are still going to roast the same over that one as it was going to over the, you know what I mean? Like it's going to taste the same, man.
Yeah. And to me, I think that's the stuff that I would look forward to, is that like just being able to have that space outside where like it would be cool to have the biggest grill system in the world and to do these different things. And I probably will have something like that someday.
Now, a grill's different. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like that whole like, nobody frowns on a wave runner, but it's to me, I think that it's the fact that, I know that like being able to have people over is that I can give them the experiences that I've always wanted to have.
Yeah.
Of, being able to sit outside, sit outside where it's like, nobody is near us to like cause any issues. We can be as loud as we want. We can play music, whether that's through a speaker or if it's through instruments while we're sitting outside and somebody brings up an upright bass or something where it's like, no, dude, stand over here and play this, like play me that old tune that I remember from back in the day. Like, I remember that song. No, but it just, to me, like that's the stuff that I look forward to. And that, I mean, at the end of the day, a home is just a home. And it's, it sounds stupid, but it's like, having the people that are in it and the things that are happening are the most important thing.
Right.
And it's so, I mean, to me, I think that just having, a decent amount of space for people and being able to have some fun with it is that, I will never reveal all of my secrets, but it's
whether the fucking secret.
So, but either way, guys, if you've stuck around this long through this crazy, just podcast episode of what it was, I don't even know what our timestamp is at of what we're at now, but either way, it's good to be back in the room. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things, past the different interviews that we've been doing and just, really just hone into this. Things are changing on the channel very, very well. Things are looking good and we're really excited about the future. So I'm just really happy that you guys are here with us. And if you've made it this far, please obviously like, comment, and subscribe and share this video, everything if you enjoy what's going on. If you want to support the show, you can be a patron for $1. And if you can also get the pre-show that we post every week. But either way, I appreciate your guys' time. And Eric, would you like to say something to anybody, to everybody? Is there anything you would like to say before we sign off here? Anything at all?
See you next time. You thought it was going to be something good, didn't you?
It's great because the music in the background builds it up. It's like, oh my God. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.